Today we're going to make pulled pork using my Pit Boss Pellet Grill. Best thing in the world to cook on if you want to smoke stuff. More about it later. So you need a Boston butt. He said butt. I use a aluminum pan. I like using the Pit Boss Sweet Heat Rub. It works really well for making the bark on the Boston butt. So you will need a Pit Boss Pellet Grill to do it this way. The Pit Boss Pellet Grill are not real expensive, but they work really well. They use little wooden pellets that, from what I understand, are basically scrap wood to do the smoking with. It's like cooking in your oven. You set the temperature and forget it. Today we're going to be setting it at 225 degrees. On mine, you set it to smoke. Once it starts smoking real good, you set it to 225 degrees. I'll provide a link in the description for a few different sizes of these. They have everything from a tabletop model to a really big one with multiple racks. I like my Inkbird thermometer. It can do up to 4 probes. Is Bluetooth to your phone, gives you alerts when you reach temperature, all that kind of stuff, and it's only about $50. I'll provide a link in the description for that too. So this is going to be one of those recipes, do as I say, don't do as I do. I was in a hurry and a couple things for this because we had a cookout later in the evening and I had to have it ready. The first thing you want to do is when you take the meat out is you want to put a binder on it. Most of the time I either use mustard or I use honey. Mustard does not impart any mustard flavor to it. It just holds the rub on it really well. I really like using local honey, rub it all around, and then put the rub on it. It does impart just a little sweet taste to the meat and works great as a binder for holding the rub on it. So since I didn't have either one of those today, I won't be putting them on. So after you put the binder on, sprinkle the rub over the whole Boston butt. I don't want to say you can't use too much, but if you err on too much or too little, do it too much. Use a lot of the rub. The more rub, the better the bark. So again, I've got my Pit Boss Pellet Grill set at 225 degrees. It's actually still warming up a little bit here. You'll see it on the temperature gauge in a minute. But I was in a big hurry and really needed to get this on so I could make our cookout later. When you put the thermometer probe in it, there is a bone in there. You don't want to put it down on the bone like you see I started to. Then I moved it and put it into the center of the meat. One of the probes I just have it sitting inside the oven. You see I'm up to 165, 171. It's actually going up very quickly. But the temperature of the meat's 45 degrees. We're going to let this cook until it reaches 160 degrees. What happens after 160 degrees is the pores on the pork close up, and then all you're doing is throwing smoke at it, and it can actually make it bitter. So I'm going to unhook the one probe that's for my temperature inside the Pit Boss. Look at that bark. I've got my Ove glove used for holding hot stuff. I'll provide a link in the description for that too. I've used that in multiple different recipes here. So now we take it inside and we're going to cover it in foil. Again, you don't want to just keep cooking it, putting smoke on it. It doesn't turn out well. What I originally did when I first had my Pit Boss was I would put it back in the smoker once I've covered it. Well, then I'm thinking, I'm just wasting the pellets. I can put it in my oven just as easy. So I set my oven on 225 degrees. I've turned off the Pit Boss Pellet Grill. I won't use it anymore today. And then I just slide it in the oven. Of course, you want to make sure you have enough room in your oven. Yeah, maybe I should have taken that out first. You want to cook your Boston butt till it reaches between 195 and 200 degrees. There's arguments all over the internet about what temperature to be at. I say 195 is fine. Once you take it out, set it on the counter somewhere that's safe, cover it with a towel, let it sit for about an hour. I didn't film that part, to let the fat render out inside. Once you've done that, use your meat claws that I've used on many other recipes here. I'll put links in the description for those too. Makes it nice and easy to shred the meat up. Once you're done shredding it up, you have two choices. Some people like to use the barbecue sauce on the side when they make their sandwiches. We like to use the Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce, and we put it right into the pork. We like to use kind of a lot too. Actually, see me trying to empty this bottle out. Once I start mixing it up, I'm actually going to go back in and pour some more on it too and mix it up again. The easiest way to mix this up is with your clean hands. Just mix it in. Like I said, you'll notice here in this next part of the clip, it has a lot more of the Sweet Baby Ray's on it. Nice and simple, easy, pretty quick as far as the prep time. It just takes about 6 to 8 hours for a normal size Boston butt to smoke in the smoker. And now for the rating system. We have 4 categories, 1 being a lazy chef, 5 being a full home chef, for a total of up to 20 points. For the prep time, it's a 1. Just coat the Boston butt and put it in the smoker. For the number of ingredients, again, it's a 1. There ain't much there. For the unique ingredients, it's a 1 again. You're making pulled pork and you've got some rub. For the unique equipment, it is a 5X. You do need a good pellet smoker. The Pit Bosses are terrific, and they're on the lower end of the price range. For a total of 8X, this is really simple and easy to do. Everybody loves my pulled pork, and they're always asking me, how did you do it? The Pit Boss Pellet Grill is the magic. It's easy to cook with. It's like smoking in your oven. If you could, I'd appreciate a like and subscribe. Make sure to click the bell so you get notified every Thursday at noon when we have a new recipe come out. Let me know if you try it. Thanks.